Why is the button missing? I want this backlight on. That looks frozen. So while we're live here, we're gonna verify it looks live on YouTube. We're just waiting for YouTube University to get started at the top of the hour. It is 8:47 a.m. Eastern. Perfect. We're live. Okay, awesome. This is welcome to YouTube University, and every week we get together on Saturdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Gulf Standard Time in Dubai, and we discuss your YouTube channel and how to get you from where you are to and to the next level. Our class is a mix of YouTubers. Some just starting out from scratch, some haven't started a channel, some are struggling to get to the first 1,000 subscribers, and some have 1,000 subscribers and they're trying to get to that coveted 4,000 watch hours so they can turn on monetization on their YouTube channel. And what happens when you turn on monetization on your YouTube channel is you get to start sharing in Google AdSense. However, there's multiple reasons why you would want to get monetized on YouTube. YouTube sends high authority backlinks to Google, which means all your videos would start sending high authority backlinks to Google search, meaning that when somebody searches your business name, your product name, whatever you've got in your title and your description on your YouTube channel, those videos start going, they start ranking on Google search. So when your customers are looking for you, you are literally outranking your customer. You can also use YouTube as a top of your funnel. So if you want it to be your website and have your YouTube traffic, you can put all your links on your you can put all your links in your YouTube in your About Me section. If you have product services, you're looking for donations. It's super simple and straightforward to get organic traffic flowing to your YouTube, which then can be spread to whatever your call to action is and get those clicks to your products and services. Also, when you're monetized with YouTube, YouTube gives you the ability to build out an e-commerce store right on their platform. They have integration with Fourth Wall, which means you can go design your own, you can upload digital downloads, you can go create your own swag that's branded, no cost to you. No cost to you. You just need to get started building out content on your YouTube, if you're already doing content on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you can repurpose any of that content. You can repurpose your content. So whatever energy, effort, and energy you're putting into YouTube today, it can be automatically synchronized to all your other social channels, and you can dominate the internet. But you got to be consistent with it. You got to be doing one video a week minimum. I'd love you to do more, but one video a week minimum, just so the algorithms learn that you're consistent. And then YouTube's gonna make sure that you're amazing, you show up amazing on Google. So that's the intro, and this is why we get together every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern on IamYouTubeFamous.com. You can sign up for email reminders there. I send out an email blast. The Zoom link's the same every single week. Just show up in the room, and I'm gonna go see if we got any students showing up yet. No, 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 I'm still here. I'm still the only one here. The YouTube feed is live. I should go turn on Google, Facebook. I'm awake. I should go turn on the Facebook link here. Put this right there today. Yeah. Let's see if we're live over on Facebook. Facebook. Says we're live on Facebook, so let's go verify we're live on Facebook here. Good morning. We're just getting YouTube University week 41 set up. So we're just streaming to all the platforms right now. And bear with us. If you want the Zoom link, just go make a comment on this post on Facebook, and I'll send you the Zoom link so you can join in the conversation. Actually, I'm gonna stream to Julie's as well here. Let's see, turn on LinkedIn. Let's turn on LinkedIn from the broadcast software and see how well this works today. Perfect. Let's see. Let's go check out LinkedIn. So this is week 41 of YouTube University, and this is our complimentary class where you can join us every Saturday, and we will do Ask Me Anything style questions where you have issues with your YouTube. We will help you step through your issues that you have with your YouTube. Our goal in YouTube University, get you to your first 1,000 subscribers and get you to that coveted 4,000 watch hours. So that way you're monetized on YouTube. And then YouTube starts sending you high authority backlinks to Google search. So you show up everywhere and you dominate Google search and you outrank your competitors. That is the whole goal of the whole reason why you become YouTube famous. Outrank your competitors. I think I might be live now on LinkedIn. Let's see. Let's see if it's working. Perfect. Okay. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go check the Zoom room here. Okay, no students yet, so I gotta go text a bunch of people. So if you want, well, good morning. It's week 41 of YouTube University. You can sign up for email reminders at IamYouTubeFamous.com. And let me see here. I need a lower third on this. Can I do a lower third? Okay, so we're 6 minutes out from class time, and what I'm gonna do is just go text some people and remind them that week 41 YouTube University is starting. We go for an hour. It's open format. Ask me anything. You got questions, I got answers about your YouTube, you got questions about technology, lighting, audio, um, subject matter, your first season, 13 episodes. If you should use AI video or not, if you should be using AI for your titles, your descriptions, if you should be using vidIQ or TubeBuddy or View Stats, all valid questions. Go to iamyoutubefamous.com, sign up for email reminders, and we'll send you the emails to the Zoom room in the future. Or you can just relax and watch us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is I am YouTube famous. I am YouTube famous. Simple. I'll be back. I'll be back. Just Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. Tired.
Yeah, I feel it. Time
That's
changing.
normal.
Time changing till tomorrow, so I'm like, thank God, because
Why is the time changing for you tomorrow? Where are you going?
well, no, it's time change tomorrow, daylight savings time. So if you're in an area
Oh,
affected by that,
gotcha. Totally forgot about that.
everybody's just telling me
Thanks for the
about it.
reminder.
So if somebody's like, "Why does this feel so weird this week?" I'm like, "I think it's time change." Oh wait, it's not. So I'm just passing on the gossip I've heard this week. So,
Thanks, because I totally forgot about that.
oh, I don't. It's one of those things. I've been self-employed for like 21 years. Holidays, I don't remember. And so it's a challenge because you know,
Yeah.
U.S. and Canadian holidays roughly line up. we might just call different holiday weekends different names. Obviously, July 1st, July 4th, it's the same week. Um, and then Canadian and American Thanksgiving are just different because it gets colder in Canada earlier, so it's separated by like a month. Um, but it's a challenge, if you go over the Middle East, it's a massive challenge because they have so many holidays. And you're just not used to it because you're like, wait a minute, do you even work? There's always holidays. And they're like, you're not supposed to. And of course, they really respect the weekend where you do not work on the weekend. But when you're self-employed like myself, I work 7 days a week. So I literally have, I could say no, but I've always been an opportunist. And I'm like, hey, if there's somebody I can help out with something, I'm not going to just fit them into a box Monday to Friday. I'm going to help them out whenever they call me. So it's a chat. So yes, I always forget. I'm like, oh, it's a holiday weekend. Okay. That's why when I'm traveling and everything's shut on a Monday, it's because it's a holiday. So yes, time change coming up tomorrow tonight. So if that type of thing affects you, just heads up. But it doesn't affect everybody the same way. I'm gonna sleep regardless. I gotta catch up because this Florida trip's been kind of busier than expected. So it's okay. We're just waiting for friends to get we had friends text us up. They're coming home from Jamaica tonight and they're like an hour from us, so we're just kind of sitting in Florida waiting for them to show up. So not like we're in a rush to get back to Texas, but I gotta be back in Texas by Thursday, so
You got this. You can do it.
oh yeah. You know what? It's just never been to Jacksonville before, and now we found places to park, and we found water dump last night, air dump and refill last night. So we're like, hey, we're sitting at Bass Pro right now in the new section south of Jacksonville, so we're going good. No stress. Just the fun thing all during the week is talking to people about their technology issues, and you're like, okay. There's some people out there who have no patience whatsoever. No patience. So like why can't I work faster? Why can't I? I'm like, if you don't even understand how it works, like why are you in such a rush to get it fixed? So I've had a lot of YouTube calls this week. So we're excited that I think we've got oh, it's still early. It's still 9:02, so I'll wait for other people. I gotta go remind a couple people to show up. Um, We've been chatting. I think we've got two. I've already spoken to Vrablik. I said, hey, when we're swinging through Colorado, try to we'll plan a in-person YouTube University boot camp. I know our contact in Alabama said yes, but now it's too tight to fit into this trip, the Alabama one. Um, Las Vegas might be happening real soon, but I got to send them details. Reno, we got invited to Reno this week, and I've not been to Reno, so that's exciting. And then Stamford, Connecticut said, let's do it. So, and that's near Boston, I think. Well, not quite near Boston, but it's just north of New York. And we got two already so yeah, no, it's May's coming up quick, and I think we're gonna do like a road trip of in-person YouTube boot camps or workshops or whatever we're gonna call them in May because there's so many requests in the Northeast United States for this stuff. And everybody wants in classroom videographers so they can do like practice and testimonials, of course, for me. But no, it's shaping up. Everybody's giving me cool ideas of what they want to see in a in-person workshop, and I'm like, this is amazing. Give me the look, find me locations, and I'll show up, and we'll deliver some content and training and answer whatever questions you got about YouTube because there's a lot of people who seem to be stuck on the stuck with problems with their YouTube channel and they don't know how to move forward. I'm like, hey, no worries. That's what I'm here for. Let's just move forward with whatever your questions are. And if I'm going to tell you to delete some videos or change your thumbnails, please do it and let's move on with it. So,
Demanding.
hey, Boston, how you doing, Roxy?
I'm good. My event got canceled because
I
of water
saw
damage.
that. My apologies. I'm sorry.
Water damage.
From a pipe?
Oh, probably. It's been storming like crazy around here.
I don't know. It's sunshine in Florida right now, so I
Oh,
wish you were
there's
here.
no, there's sun today.
Oh, there's sun today. So is that just that's still the winter storms?
Yeah, it's been the winter storms. We had another one, I want to say 2 nights ago. Yeah, we had another one Thursday night. So by the time they probably found out about the flood, it was Friday, and our event was Saturday.
So realistically, I know you're East Coast, so
Yes,
our US office is in New Jersey, and my business partner Julio says this is the most snow he's ever seen in a winter. So
been a
what's your
long time.
what's your side of the story? Lots of snow?
Lots of snow.
Lots of snow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, because I was just in Tampa and we've been invite I've got two invites to Long Island now and they're telling me it's crazy. The amount of snow is crazy in Long Island. And I was like, it's winter, this is exactly why I go follow the sunshine. So, well, I like it. I just
Hey,
remember
in fairness, we've seen a lot of snow. So you're talking to the wrong
I
people
well
that
I
aren't going to give a
know
lot of sympathy.
it
We've
just
had years of snow.
I just I know
Mm-hmm.
I know the New York and New Jersey people say they never get snow, and I'm like, it's winter, you get snow. It may not be
I
six
mean,
feet of
it
snow, but
was it was um it was it it's been a lot of snow. I mean, we haven't had a ton of snow in the East Coast in like 2.5 to 3 years. Um,
eh.
so I don't know. I mean, it feels like a lot of snow. It feels like we got buried, but I don't know if like this is the most snow or the biggest
Well,
blizzard we've ever had.
it just when we were planning our travels, I was told, hey, Delaware's okay for winter. And I was like, are you sure? They're like, oh, the RV parks are open 12 months a year. And then I've seen the photos from Delaware this winter, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
that's not a little bit of snow. That's not a little bit of snow. I do not need to freeze in an RV.
No.
So I will just go below the snow curtain.
And in fairness, we will still be cold in our trailer when we get back to Canada
You
because
know what?
it is not warm.
It's snow. Yes, it snowed in Mississippi when we were parked there last January. So snow hits everywhere.
Right?
So it is what it is. It's winter. You just gotta deal with it. Okay, I'm just not allowing all these note takers in. I don't care. Note takers are fine. Some people don't let the note takers in, but I'm cool. So okay, well, wait 2 more minutes till 10. Till it's 10 after, and let's see. I gotta go remind Julio to jump in here if he's not in here already. Okay.
Oh, I have to take us to the new tea room when you guys come back.
Sure, sounds good.
There's a new tea room and it is so cute.
Your date might work well because the dates
Which
you sent
date?
me, well, you sent me like
Oh, I think I
mid-June.
sent you like mid-June.
Yeah, because New York, okay, let's say Long Island said it's May 13th, 14th, 15th. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to. Chemetsky's invited me to the White Room. Then we got Stamford, and I know Philadelphia is right there. Like, there's just all these like cities popping up on with requests. So I gotta actually now go do
So I have
venue
two
shopping.
I have two options. And I
Okay.
haven't checked it out yet, but one of the cool options might be the school. It's not a school, it's a youth program.
Okay.
Um and for like $50 an hour, and I might do some negotiating with her, and I will use my 501(c)(3) fiscal sponsor status to go and get us free food somewhere. I'll go and
Okay.
get free food.
Well, it's
But
like
it's,
when I was talking to Reno, Nevada
yeah.
yesterday, they said like I'm like, you know what? Because it's gonna be The last one we did was like 3 hours.
Okay.
I always like providing
Snacks.
snacks because especially when you're
Yes.
thinking or discussing your video content and your past
Mm-hmm.
promotions and stuff like that, and your brain starts working, I
Yes.
need you to be in a happy, good place because usually what ends up happening is frustration from past failures comes out. And you're
Yeah.
going to be like, well, why should I trust you, Mike? I trusted all these other people. And I'm like, it's fine. You know,
Right.
you can't get to success without admitting all your past failures. And there's some really snazzy people on the internet who said, "Hey, I can help you with this, and I can help you with this." And they were really good sales guys, but maybe they didn't do everything that they sold you on.
Right.
And we have to go fix their mistakes, and that's fine. I have these conversations in Tampa where a lot of people have well, I'm like looking at people's YouTube accounts where they've been disapproved for monetization. And they're like, why would I get disapproved? I'm like, well, look at your messages. Your messages are your videos are deceptive. And then it's like, well, why? I'm not deceptive. Why are my videos deceptive? And it's
Oh.
like, I'm like, who is promoting it? Like, I was like, what was it about? I'm like, just certain things you can, like if you're there's just certain things you can't talk about on YouTube, and that's fine because that's your content that you can put on like Rumble or Substack or your own Roku channel or something else that's not as censored as YouTube, right? Like we're using YouTube as safe for work content, and not every creator has got safe for work content, right? So I'm like, that's okay. Somebody did you bad. Someone did you dirty. Let's just delete those videos off your YouTube, reapply for monetization. And they know
I
they need to
want
do it. They know they
I
need to do
want
it, and they still haven't done it. So I was like, it's
I
okay. Get a little
want
bit of,
should we walk me through on one of these someday on how to clean up my thing and get me started?
well,
Because
I think we
I
just,
really wanna.
I think, yeah, as I said, we just got to get started with posting content once a week to YouTube just to get
Okay.
comfortable with the app. Like, why,
So
you
then I'll just start posting content of the bags.
exactly, exactly.
I'll
And
just
as you
talk
see
about
what
the bags every
and
day,
you
every
see what
week.
I'm doing, I'm not broadcasting from my phone today. I will
Oh,
later, but I'm broadcasting from the desktop right now because from here, from my MacBook, I can go to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, my
let's
custom
get a
my Roku
wait,
channel. Like I can broadcast from everywhere's from
nice.
video feed.
We
It's
have to get a. I need a fundraiser, or we need a fundraiser so we can get a bunch of us those MacBook News.
yeah, yeah.
I want one of those MacBook News.
Yeah, I'll show when we're in Boston, I'll do it all these workshops. What I'm gonna do is you can go live from here from the phone, but
Right?
it's really gonna limit you going to one or two platforms because what we were finding in our testing is that the video quality is just not the same as if you're doing it from like a desktop with a high.
Hmm.
The nice thing doing it from a computer is you can also do both vertical and horizontal live streaming because YouTube supports that now. So you just got more options when it's a computer with a high definition webcam, but that's okay. Everybody's setup is a little bit different, and we're just going to teach you all how to master your setup. So I'm going to just say hi to everybody. Okay, class recorder after here. So let's
Everybody.
just say good morning to everybody and see if anybody's got any challenges we got to deal with. Um, Sarah, yeah, you can use Opus Clip for shorts, and guess what? You can do shorts right from YouTube. So if you use the YouTube software, my wife does this all the time. She can make shorts from her lives, and then using repurpose.io will automatically grab those shorts on her YouTube and repurpose those to all her other platforms. So I don't even have to pay, I don't have to deal with CapCut or Opus Clip because you can do shorts right from YouTube, no extra charge.
Can I ask a quick question about the strategy of posting shorts?
Go ahead.
Do you drip them out over time, or like let's say I post my long form, Monday at 9 a.m., would you then immediately post, and let's say I have 15 shorts from that long, what would be the ideal strategy of timing of posting those shorts?
Well, that's a good question.
Thanks, I tried.
Well, if you want my experience,
Yeah, no,
and
my wife is the master of shorts. Like I'm all theory and tech setup and like will tell people what's wrong with their channels. I mean, my wife's amazing with her shorts, so she can answer this.
And
well,
I'm the jack of all trades and I do it all. So that's why I have questions about
Exactly. And
everything.
it's like,
yeah. So what I would suggest, because okay, now, depending on how you do it, normally there's a processing time on YouTube, right? So even with the new streaming software we're using, doesn't matter if I'm streaming directly before, we've tried so many different ways. It'll normally take about 24 hours before the video is fully processed on the YouTube end. Then I can go on the back end and make the shorts. And then what I'll do is I'll stagger them depending on how many I decide to make, right? So if you got 15, I would, depending on when you do your next live, I would drip them out during that time period in between, because the more regular and consistent you are, the better it is for the AI algorithms, right? And you don't necessarily want to compete with your own videos either, right? So you don't necessarily want to put all of them go live at the same time, because then they're all competing to be seen, right? So that would be my suggestion, would be, if you're doing a live once a week, then after it's processed, or if you're in the back end making them on your Opus or wherever you're making your little shorts, your little commercials, then drip them. I usually try to play it out. The more you watch it, you might see there's a trend that people are watching morning and nights or whatever, and you can kind of have your videos go during those times. Or you can try them out, because again, if you, let's say it's in 5 days, you might decide to do three: once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening, test out different times. That would be my suggestion, just kind of until your next live. I don't
But
think
so
I'm
especially because my content is very like time sensitive
yeah,
because it's AI and it's all like everything I'm talking about today could be irrelevant by 3 days from now. Like don't don't drip it out over one a day. Just like get them posted basically. But drop
put
like
them
throughout
between
the day.
times. Exactly. Like, so even if you, let's say you want to get them all done in 3 days and you've got five, then I would just have them at different times during the day,
Yeah,
right?
so
So then
don't
that
don't
way
do
it gives a
one
little bit
mass
of time.
drop of 15 shorts, but instead like, a couple in the morning, a couple in the afternoon, a couple in the evening, some tomorrow, but like the purpose, or I guess the bigger point is get them out so that they can drive traffic back to the long form.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Like, that's how I see the shorts. I was gonna call them the littles, the little videos. The shorts is, I do see them as like they are really the commercials to the long, right? And if it is very time sensitive, then you might want to put more, or the ones that you think are even more time, important to get out sooner. Kind of rate them to the ones that you think will be not as time sensitive, right? So it just depends on what you're making for the content.
Okay, and then I did post a follow-up question in the chat because you were talking about the processing time. Sometimes I do, instead of going live, I will like record a video if I need to do a little editing, or sometimes I'm using my own accounts and I need to schedule it because I need to make sure that I'm not accidentally showing client information or, contact information or API keys or things like that. So if I record a video and say I, publish it as a scheduled today to go out on Monday, does that processing time happen while it's sitting in drafts, or does it only happen when it goes live?
The processing from once it's up and loaded and you've got it, because you'll know it's fully loaded. It usually takes an hour, depending on how long your video is, right? Once you get it up on YouTube, it'll tell you it's up. It'll take maybe an hour or two, depending if it's really long, and your internet and your Wi-Fi. But once it's there, you don't have to, it's not going to take another 24 hours or anything. Once it's there and up and loaded, it is a quicker process than the lives. The lives will take a number of hours to fully download and then for you to go and edit or use them. That is my experience. I believe you had the same experience, Mike, right? Where when you've already
yeah,
pre-recorded something.
exactly. And we've had the issue where we thought we've lost lives and they like YouTube's really resilient. Like if you're doing a live and you like your internet gets cut off, I just tell people I'm like, okay, just start another one. They're like, well, what happened to the other one? I'm like, it's lost, but YouTube knows that they received data, and it may take 12 to 24 hours, but that original live you started that got lost because you got kicked off or froze or you had to reboot the YouTube app, it will show up. It's just that YouTube's always receiving so much data that you just got to wait for the servers to catch up. And right now, I don't know how YouTube's affected, but for example, with other AI tool, anybody who's using AI tools this week, you know there's been issues, especially with Claude, because there's a bunch of data centers that were blown up this week in the Middle East. So those data centers are gone, and everybody's had to reshuffle their data over to Europe and Africa and the US and stuff like that. So I know a lot of people have been frustrated with AI tools this week because they're like, why is everything so slow? And I'm like, there's stuff happening behind the scenes. So when things are slow, just be patient with them. Wait till the next day, and then go. We get this with vibe coding as well with my wife and my building apps. Some days, some things just don't work. Wait till tomorrow, it'll be better. Just don't get frustrated because the worst thing to do is get frustrated with technology, frustrated with YouTube, frustrated with something else because there's something else going on that you don't know. Just step away and say, okay, take a breather. Go play with your kids, go for a walk, go fishing, go take the dogs out, just like walk. Technology frustration, my number one rule, just walk away because it ain't worth getting upset about because you can go back a couple hours later and just figure out where you have to continue with your workflow.
Also, just a reminder that you can always Google it to check if you are the only one impacted. I will just share a friend this week who has a bunch of books published on KDP was losing her mind.
Yes,
Like,
I saw her post.
You saw Kristen's post, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
lest we not forget that she and I work together. I talk to her all day, every day.
Okay, there we go.
And we constantly are saying, oh my gosh, let me Google that for you. Let me Google that for you. Because people ask questions that are super Googleable. I found the answer to her thing in about half a second because I Googled it. And that was where I discovered that Amazon was having a massive data loss that day because of the Amazon data centers in the Middle East. So I will never stop trolling her now because she's constantly Googling things for our students. And then that day she failed to Google the issue for herself. She was on chat with customer support, losing her mind. So if you're experiencing issues with AI tools, as an AI expert and professional, I would like to recommend that you Google it first. Prevent the panic.
I love that, Sarah. That's wonderful.
Hey, I know
awesome.
I met Sarah for I know I met Sarah for a reason because she's like, this is exactly. I'm like, just be. There's
I
always
don't know.
information available and be patient because stuff happens.
Mm, Michael, I don't know much about AI, but 2, 3 times this week, clients have said, Roxy, I found you. And I said, well, what do you mean you found me? I've been findable. No, I went into Claude and I went into this and I found you on AI. You're findable on AI. And I
You're
said,
fine, Roxy. You're findable on Google. It's
oh,
just
I
we want
know I
to
am. I've been
we
looking,
just
I've
and
been searching.
I
Roxy,
know.
who
So we
does
just
your
want.
website?
Oh, my website designer is amazing. Her
So
name is Liz Teresa.
you need to tell your website designer this exact thing and give her a testimonial with that
Oh,
quote.
she's my bestie. So
But give her that testimonial because
I
that's
will.
what she's done to your website is she's done AEO optimization to your
Okay.
website, which made you findable in search. And it is so early for AEO right now. It means
Okay.
that she is staying on top of the new things.
She's smart.
And she is a rock star. So give her a written
Well, she is a
testimonial.
rock star, and she brought in Roxy B. Rocker, who's also a rock star.
There you
Nice
go.
to meet you,
Please
Sarah.
give her that as a written
I will.
testimonial.
I'll
to
write
use
her a
on
written
website
testimonial.
because she's amazing if she's already implementing AEO.
Well, yeah, she is amazing. Like, she's one of the best. She is one of the best. And she's national. Even though I have her here, she's in Boston. She's a national. Her podcast is Liz on Biz, and she's lizteresa.com. She's really a brilliant web designer.
We Roxy hasn't introduced me yet, but she keeps
Yeah, we'll
talking
have to
about
meet
her.
her.
So I
Yeah,
know
we'll have to.
when we come to do the
when
event in
we
Boston, we'll make sure
yeah
you
we'll
meet.
make sure that Liz is there.
Okay,
Yes.
Now,
Mr.
Austin
Chip.
had a question. I wanted to make sure we
I
don't.
know there's a lot in the chat today, so I'm
Yeah.
reading
So
through it. So
well,
thank
let's
you.
move on
Thank
because
you
I
all
know.
for your questions.
Yes, yes. So Austin was asking, do we have a list of best used video editing software to create shorts? Have you noticed our video content is large? I have noticed our video content is large files, and they want to charge a lot of money to do so. So I was looking at Descript for an example. So what do you think?
I use Descript. Okay, so one thing has come up this week is, well, I'm always reviewing YouTube channels, always, and people asking why their stuff doesn't have any traction, and I'm looking at it, and there's no subtitles, and that's one easy tool Descript can easily do for you. I use Descript. That's what I use for my subtitles, and I'm gonna tell you that. If you There's so many videos watched with no sound on. So if people can't read the words, it's just one of those reasons why they may not watch your stuff. And not everybody, but I do a lot. I watch a lot of videos, and I'm like, hey, this is amazing content, but there's no subtitles. So your audience just shrank because because guess what? People are watching videos on their phone everywhere's bathroom, cleaning, all that stuff, like whatever. They're in school, they're sitting there watching videos. They may not have the audio on. Add subtitles. Make sure the captions are there because that's what I use Descript
And
for. I
that,
don't know.
sorry, and just one thing to
Good.
point out, YouTube will do that for you. So that is one thing. So if you are doing a live, you
It
put that
it
in there.
does, but I
Yeah.
find as myself, I like pretty boxes
Yes, yes,
with the
yes. YouTube
words.
won't make it all pretty. When you make your shorts
That's
on your
the
live,
only gripe I have with
yes.
YouTube. And if I know that if somebody has like my wife's shorts are amazing because it's just like I'm like pop a color. You don't have to, but I'm just saying for somebody like me who may have some learning disabilities and I may not understand, you may talk too fast for me to follow. Um, a box with the words and like it's just me as an audience member. It's just what I appreciate more. I will rewatch stuff and it's got that stuff. So you do that stuff with Descript. There's a bunch of editors out there, so I'm gonna say use what fits your budget. What I use on the computer is Wondershare, and it does amazing thing. I think it's like $80 a year or something like that. And it's got AI tools built in. So literally, like I will in the past I've shown workflows because right now I'm working on animating using AI, Google VO3, the Flow Studio to animate a book because we got a comic book coming out. So I'm trying to I'm trying to learn how to animate characters because I'm like, hey, this is content, and guess who's a prime target for animation content? And children, right? So we want to we got to but yeah, it's just there's a lot of video editors out there. So um it just depends because my approach with YouTube is to never like if you're doing lives, don't edit it. Of course, if you're interviewing people, then you need their permission. Please ask for their permission and get a waiver signed that you're allowed to use that content wherever you want because I've had a couple interviews where I've done and people are like, "Oh, well, this isn't live, right?" I'm like, "No, we're recording it in the studio. It's not live." They're like, "Well, are you going to show me the finished product before I upload it?" And I'm like, "No, that's why I had you sign a waiver." Is there anything specific you don't want me to include in the interview before I upload it? You know, it's just um editor, you're gonna have to the challenge with computer software and editing software is it's kind of one of the video editing software changes a lot when you do software updates, and you may not what your friend likes to use, you may not like to use. So if you talk to any professional, and my experience with being in New York, New Jersey the last 3 summers and being around proper videographers from Hollywood is that everybody's using Adobe Final Cut. Shit's complicated. I ain't gonna use that. I know I'm a tech guy. I ain't gonna use Adobe Final Cut. I learned how to video edit with Apple iMovie back in the early 2000s, but then Apple changed it and made it terrible. And then I'm like, I'm not using this terrible looking software. Like the old fashioned iMovie was amazing. And you could train a kid to use it. And now it sucks. My opinion, it sucks. But I use Wondershare, or is it what is it called? Video. And now that's what Netflix uses and all these other places. I think it's Wondershare. What is it called? Filmora. I use Filmora. That's exactly what my buddy who films for Netflix and Paramount, that's what he uses. He's like, dude, teach people to use the easy software. And that's what we do. Because when you import stuff, it will, it's super intuitive. That's on desktop. And Filmora looks the same on Windows as it does on Mac. So it just really depends on your environment. Some people are editing on CapCut directly on their phone or the iPad. I'm not a big fan of that because you're going to run out of storage. And you're going to be constantly playing the game of cleaning up your phone to edit. And then, because of course, when you go to edit on your phone, you're literally making a copy of the video, making changes, and then exporting that. So you're really like going to be that video file is going to be in 3 versions: the original, the currently edited version, and then the exported version. So you just got to be aware of space constraints and then making sure you like the
Well, and there's one thing to note,
interface.
there is some editing abilities on YouTube. So I have been able to play around them, especially if you do lives and after your live is uploaded, and let's say you have like the first 2 minutes, you're just getting set up. Once you've got it uploaded, you probably want to get rid of those first 2 minutes of where maybe you're not talking about whatever, or you just want to get rid of that space, because if somebody starts watching your video, they're going to lose interest. There is some editing software built into YouTube where you can reduce the file, take out stuff. Not as fancy as any of those other editing software. So it depends on what your use is, right? So a lot of these things is really going to be based on what you're creating and what you want to do with your YouTube channel, right? So for me, when I'm doing lives, I'm never going to go back and edit. I might cut off the front once it's uploaded to YouTube. I might do that little bit of editing, make sure the captions show up, and then make my shorts on YouTube that I don't have to take space on my phone. Because that's what I'm doing, and that works for me at this point from playing around with many, many, many different options over the last number of years. But that may not be the same thing. Like I know with Kirsten, she's editing and getting somebody to come in and edit and do all that fancy stuff, and then making the shorts. And I don't know, is Kirsten still here? Is she making the shorts off of YouTube, or are they doing it outside of that? I can't remember if she had told us.
I don't remember.
And
She might be driving right now, but I got David Chemetsky asks the question. So I have a question about getting the content to YouTube. Do I do mass dump or better to build the content? When you go to upload it to YouTube, you get to choose whether or not you want it public right away or unlisted. Like I would just, it's efforts, especially if those videos are not already up on YouTube. So I would just upload them and then just set a drip campaign, right? You could just here react if your YouTube's new or it's been kind of abandoned, it needs some TLC. So upload your stuff, set it as unlisted. You know, you can set future release. You can time the releases, so it's like like an email drip campaign where you're just like, I'm just gonna drop a video a week, even if it's old stuff. But it's gonna take you time to do your thumbnail and your title and your description, and you want in your description, and it's just going to take you time to do all that stuff. And you might get frustrated. You may run into writer's block, creative block, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I know there's a lot of times where I go and, look at somebody's stuff and they've got like years of stuff planned and they've just never even clicked. They're in that stage fright. It's ready to launch and they're stage fright. They're like, well, what if nobody likes it? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's for you to get your stuff out there and train that muscle of, hey, I'm ready to launch these videos and depends how much content you have to upload, but I would just do it all. If you've got a bunch of stuff, there's been a couple other people I know where they were downloading all their Facebook lives, and I'm like, hey, Facebook's great for promotion, but we know they're going to delete your videos after 30 days because Facebook is not long-term storage. Facebook wants you to post new stuff they want posts, they don't want videos. Facebook's not a video platform, it's ads, right? And building community. So they're going to delete your stuff after 30 days, but you can go just download all your Facebook lives and then upload, what you should, what we can, what our goal for you is really to use repurpose. So every time there's something new on sometime you add something new to your YouTube or your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok, repurpose sees you do it and it grabs it and automatically pushes it everywhere else for you. That's the goal, is one video a week to YouTube and use repurpose to repurpose it everywhere else. And then when you're consistent with that one video a week to YouTube, add the second video a week to YouTube and repurpose it. Because like my wife's been like, it's amazing to see her traction on the on her Facebook business profile, how many followers she's gained, and she hasn't posted for like years on Facebook business. Now we've activated because we're like, hey, we're gonna promote this astrology app she's building, but we literally just got feedback that somebody was missing her old content. And we're like, oh, okay, so we forgot about an audience and now they're requesting new content from the old content. So we're like, okay, that's fine. But that's the feedback she was looking for. Somebody's missing her Oracle card pulls. So I gave her
Do
that
more, to
feedback.
do more.
Yeah.
Kirsten says she uses Opus, so she's doing the
Okay.
same thing to make the shorts. And so that just adds, you've got those. I like the captions. I'm super lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I want to just make content and get it out because I do feel like very much like, Sarah had to leave, but a lot of my stuff, because now it's very timely, it's in the moment or in this week. I'm doing energy readings, or even when I was doing Oracle cards, it was like for this period of time. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because it is more time is more of a thing to it, right? But some content, like I know, was it Lucy? I'm gonna call her Lucy. She was making about the wheelchair. It was the wheelchair she was mentioning last week, correct? About the wheelchair day or whatever. And that kind of content, a lot of people don't even know that day exists. So that's something that it's maybe, you want to get it out for time sensitive, but it doesn't necessarily, it's maybe not as important because a lot of people will come across it and then will have their curiosity piqued that there's even a day that promotes that, right? So again, each person's strategy is going to be a little bit different based on the content you're making and what you're doing, right? And with mine, like I like making shorts on YouTube because I can put in the captions, I can do those cute little colored captions and have the words roll out because I do speak really quickly. So when you read my short, or when you're watching my shorts, it's very easy to then see what I'm saying, right? And it is very true because there's a lot of times I even find myself just watching a video in the preview because I'm reading the words and I don't even realize I'm watching this video until it cuts off and I'm like, oh, I better go finish watching that video because I've been reading the words on it, right? So there is definitely for everybody huge benefit to have captionings, however you add those on, right?
I was checking the comments and checking to see if I missed any questions or not.
Well, I guess my other thing would be with the repurpose too, because again, I'm really lazy. I really don't I don't enjoy interacting on social media and posting things. So that is one of the biggest things, is the repurpose, or having a system that once you make something, it goes everywhere, is substantially easier because you don't know who's going to see you. And then it is very interesting to get that feedback on a platform that I don't even really follow. I believe it was TikTok that somebody was giving me the feedback they missed more of my Oracle cards, right? And that's not even I don't necessarily even go onto TikTok. I don't even really know how many people follow me. It's mainly me just putting that content out there. And then I know Kristen here. Go ahead, Kristen.
Hi, just real quick. The other reason I use Opus is I have a virtual assistant who helps me with the social media stuff. And I decided I don't want anybody in my YouTube. And then the benefit and the bonus was that, it does have the boxes. But if YouTube ever went to a thing where I didn't have to pay for Opus, I would probably figure out a way to make it happen in one spot. Because I am like you, like I need to find ways to save time now. So I just wanted to add that part of my reason for using Opus, an outside product, is I really limit who gets in it.
That is a
I,
great,
I,
that is a
I was
great
actually
point.
gonna. I was
That's a
that,
really good point.
that was
Very
one of
good.
my that was one of my topics for today because this is what I've after looking at a whole bunch of YouTube accounts sitting at a cigar bar in Ybor City in Tampa last Saturday night. Um, there's a lot of people out there hiring VAs to do all their social media, and I've been there,
Yeah.
done that, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with it until you find them doing weird stuff. So, um,
I make a very narrow lane and they drive me.
exactly. Well, this is the thing. It's one thing for them to make you a bunch of posts and like get your content ready for you, but I do not suggest anybody else having direct access to your accounts.
Or you
Um,
very, very, very careful how you add them because
except when I'm managing your stuff, I'm like, make me your YouTube manager or editor because I want to go and look at what's going on in the back end, and the only way I can see what's going on in the back end is if I have access to the back end, because then I can read through all your red flags and all the warning messages, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It just because you can't
don't
see it.
trust anybody else. Just trust
Yeah,
Mike.
just sure. My number one
Right
rule of
there, okay?
cybersecurity, number one rule of crypto, trust no one, but trust me. Okay. Just because I was looking, I was been shocked, and everybody I spoke to in Tampa is like, I'm using VAs, I'm using VAs, I'm using VAs. I'm like, I understand. I've been there, done that. I understand it's time, and they can just they you know they get your stuff done for you. I totally understand it. However, it comes to a thing where I've seen a lot of accounts hacked, and it's especially with like other platforms, Facebook and Instagram, where people are letting somebody else manage their ads. Um, you don't, like some stuff can go weird really quick, and if you don't know what they're doing, then it's easy to get into a lot of trouble. But especially with the YouTube side, there's been a lot of people I talk to who've been denied for monetization. They're like, why did I get denied for monetization? And I'm like, looking at the account, I'm like, well, you got 5 editors on your back end on your YouTube, and YouTube doesn't like that necessarily because when you're applying for like we want to, it's like dealing with accounting and doing your books. They want to see clean transactions, and if there's any weird stuff on the back end because the VAs knew a tip or trick, and they were doing something that's not really in line with YouTube policy, YouTube's going to stop you from getting to that next level. So
And there is also the point that if, let's say, they know that account, so maybe this VA works for other people and they're known, and there's been another flagged account, and then that VA is attached to you, it's going to be a red flag,
So
right?
so
there's processes around it.
my advice when I was being trained on YouTube, it's like it's fine to have people as editors and managers when you're growing it and they're doing your thumbnails and your titles and when they're helping you out. But when you get to that certain level and you're approaching submission of your channel for monetization, we want it clean. We want we want all the copyright flags acknowledged, deleted. If there's any videos YouTube's flagged for being deceptive, delete that shit. It might, if it's gonna affect your watch time, but I'm gonna say If you go to if you're I've got my 1,000 subs, I got my 7,000 watch hours, but you got a bunch of red flags on your YouTube account, YouTube's not going to monetize you. They want clean account before you apply for monetization. So everybody that I've talked to who's like, Mike, it's not worth it because they're never going to monetize me. And I'm like, well, just delete the messy stuff. I'm like, you've got a video that's been tagged for promoting weight loss supplements or this or this or this. Yeah, I can see it. You gave me access to your back end. I can see it. Delete that stuff. Well, I'm going to lose my watch time. I'm like, well, lose the watch time on the affected content and then go get the watch time. I'm like, if you want to get to the next level, you gotta make sure the account looks clean. One in particular, I was looking at. I'm like, they got four VAs as editors on the back end, and I'm like, I'm like, no, 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 you do not submit for monetization with anybody but yourself as the account owner, because YouTube's gonna look at those editor accounts, realize they're VAs, and realize you did not do the work to get your you can use them. You can use them, but when you go to apply for the paperwork to say, hey, I'm a monetized YouTuber, do not have anybody else on your account, because that's the instant red flag that you didn't do the work. You had somebody else doing the work. It's okay to use other people, but not when you apply, it's just like clean it up. I told the guy, I'm like, delete the editors, delete the flagged videos, wait, just keep doing your lives, keep posting. And then I'm like, just take it. Send me screenshots. Send me screenshot after you've cleaned up the mess. Show me the screenshots. If you're if you're 1,000 hours short of your watch time requirement now, just work for another 6 months and be consistent, because you're gonna get that watch time back that you lost. There won't be any editors on there, and then you can apply for a monetization, and you're gonna get it. But we want clean looking accounts, because it's people do weird stuff. Sometimes the VAs don't they have good ideas what they're doing, and some of their strategies work well and some don't. I helped somebody last we just met somebody in Miami at Epic Webinar, and she's having issues with her Facebook account, and I'm like, hey, here's how I get back into my Facebook account every time. And she's like, no, 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 it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I already tried that. I'm like, tried it again. It keep me posted with screenshots, and it worked. When I gave her the instructions, it worked. So I'm like, see, there's just certain things where if there's a couple weird things on your account, or somebody else is accessing a VA is accessing your account, sometimes you're gonna get flagged because it's not you and your device is logging in. It's them coming in with the VPN or a strange IP, and the doesn't matter if it's YouTube or Facebook. They're always watching for weird activity, and sometimes they're just going to flag you, and you're just going to have to acknowledge that you got flagged, accept it, emotionally accept it, move on, and just watch for things in the future. But it's just, we're here to give you advice, because I've seen a lot of weird stuff, and then I assume it's all VA related. So they're helpful, they're useful, but in certain tasks. And maybe not direct access account, maybe not direct access to the account. But it's okay when you're first getting started, and then we're just gonna and once after you're monetized, then you can let them back in. But it's just when we're dealing with certain things like monetization, applying for monetization, or account support and stuff like that, like they own the social media accounts only want to see you on there. They don't want to see any other weird activity, because they don't know if you've been hacked or not. Like, they have no idea what's going on in your world, and they just want to make sure everything looks legitimate, and it's you, and not somebody trying to pretend to be you doing it. So
And fair enough, even if you do have somebody that's helping you do it, as I got in trouble and I had to be re-educated, and I ignored that message for a very long time. And we were approached that I should be able to get monetized. I'm like, well, I have a re-education and I'm not being re-educated by YouTube. And
so
so
guess who did the
motherfucker got
re-education?
re-educated for
I had to sit there. So it's, and depending on it's really good. Depending on what region of the world you are in, YouTube has different rules, because YouTube, it's an American corporation. They have to buy, they're not going to be a TikTok, where TikTok is owned in China, and you know that they're just sucking in all your personal details. They're likely training all their AI video models on your content. They got no rules. They're gonna do whatever they want because it's a foreign country. Our accounts are based in Canada, except I think YouTube's switching us to the US because now everything I log into, it says I'm US based, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. We know in Canada we cannot share news stories online. So in my wife's case, she shared a news article, and that was one of her red flags in the background. And we weren't even in the um thought process of monetization at that point until somebody told us she had enough subs and watch time to get monetized. Like I wasn't even thinking about YouTube monetization at that particular time and place. And I was like, oh, so we've had a bunch of YouTube coaches, and that's how we got to this part. So, in her situation, you got to watch the videos and step through all their re-education and say, yes, I'm going to do my best in the future to not break the rules in Canada and the USA of what's not safe for not safe for YouTube, right? There's a lot of stuff not safe for YouTube, so you just don't post it there. You may have a page, as I said, I haven't brought up Patreon today, but a lot of content creators, when they've got edgy stuff, they will have other platforms that they're broadcasting on, like Rumble and Patreon and all these others. But those social medias don't feed back into Google as much because they're not as big of platforms. So that's why our approach is YouTube first, repurpose everywhere's all second, because we want to make sure that you're not stressed out with making your content. It should be easy, right? And fun. And you're like, hey, I got monetized on YouTube. Now where I'm gonna go get monetized, we're currently right now building up
The
my
Rumble
wife's
and
my wife's
Facebook.
Facebook, because now we know we can. I'm finally monetized again on Facebook. I can now go get her set up for Facebook monetization, because it's not just about getting money from those platforms. It's about building the audience on those platforms the way those platforms want you to, following the rules on each platform to get the most bang for your buck on out of your energy, right? Because if you all these platforms have certain guidelines for posting, and Facebook tells you right in the Facebook, if you got your professional dashboard turned on, it tells you, hey, I want X amount of text-based posts, X amount of photos, X amount of reels. You do that homework on Facebook, Facebook's going to show you to more people. If you don't follow that, they're not going to show your stuff to anybody. So this is why it's like, okay, emotionally get over it, and then come up with the strategy of how little time can you really spend in your week to achieve these goals, right? So that's why I say YouTube's so easy. Just like post it on YouTube, build it up to your 1,000 subs. If you're consistent one video a week for 52 weeks, 1 year, YouTube's going to be sending all your video links to Google search. And when people go to search you on Google or AI, Google's going to be they're going to be suggesting your video content, and people are going to come onto your YouTube and say, hey, I like this person. And then they're like, oh, hey, here's their links to their products and their services or whatever you're promoting. But we gotta be consistent with making the video content in order to get these algorithms to work for us without having to. We're doing all this without spending ad dollars. You can spend ad dollars. That's a completely different conversation. We can
One
do
thing I wanted One thing I
good.
do want to point out also the benefit of making sure your content is everywhere. So we know Facebook removes all your content after 30 days, right?
The videos, the
And the
videos.
videos. Well, not all the content, but yes, the video. We're talking about videos, right?
And
Say-
Instagram won't highlight your reel after the first day. So it's
Yeah.
just one of these things where Instagram wants a new video per day. They want a reel every single day.
Yes. So each of them, as we're talking about, has like different things on how it works, right? Because all the social medias are a little different. But one of the perks of having it on as many different platforms is if anybody does decide to delete it on one, ideally you should have a backup on another platform, right? Like that's also another perk because in fairness, I don't save all of my lives. And if I got, let's say YouTube shut down, is like, no, you're banned or whatever, and close my account, I could still find videos on my Rumble, or I could still find it back in the back end of, let's say on TikTok or whatever, because they will until they delete them. So it is, it's not a good backup plan. It's just another perk of having it everywhere is if somewhere you get at some point in trouble or stopped, at least your content still exists on other platforms, which is also the big perk of not having it only on one platform, and especially not on Facebook, since Facebook will literally drop your stuff in 30 days if it's video content.
Facebook's not a video platform.
No,
Kristen's got
exactly.
her, Kristen,
That's why it's going to drop it, as you said.
we got a hand raised. Go ahead, Kristen.
I'm coming. So quick
Okay.
question I just thought of, because I'm still having some editing situations with the raw files. What, now we are at week, let's see, I'd say 7 or 8 on the YouTube channel of the episodes.
Okay.
If we skipped a week, what are our thoughts on skipping a week to catch up, or should I just like throw shorts out during that week? Or
I just say like put something up. Like it's just literally constantly reminding the YouTube algorithm is not going to really do anything for you until you're at that 1,000 subs, because they
Okay.
really think it's like it's grunt work, it's organic, it's this guerrilla marketing where you're like, hey, YouTube, I exist. You're just poking that bear. YouTube, I exist. YouTube, I exist. YouTube, I'm not gonna.
I have a behind the scenes. I was putting together like
This is
behind the scenes of all the places we've been.
Exactly. And it's just it doesn't need to be a long. I'm just telling people like one video a week. I don't, they're like short or long. I'm like, I think YouTube right now is gonna favor lives, but it doesn't really matter. It's just like put something up. Put something
Put
up.
something up.
Put
Okay.
something up. It's just saying, because then they're like, oh hey, there's activity. There's activity. Because whenever anybody, the overnight success people, whenever they show you what their overnight success looks like, and it just it's a little graph. It's like it's like looking at the Bitcoin graph or any like stock graph. It's like blip, 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 blip. They're like, look. And then all of a sudden it just starts going up, but that's just consistency and frequency, right? So I know it's a challenge. It's
Well, and keeping it in perspective, 1 week of not posting is not going to be detrimental per se. However, if you stop and disappear, that is like you've built momentum. And if you're building a following and people are watching your content, you really want to make sure you're constantly at least giving one a week to keep it. And again, like some things happen, right? You might have a week where nothing gets posted. However, you want to really minimize that extra time that you're just disappear, right?
And I'm not worried. Like the audience isn't gonna know, because until you have millions of people watching, nobody's gonna know. It's just the algorithm knows. And what we want to do is get consistent. We want the algorithm to be on our good side, because it's a new channel, and then the quality is your stuff's like high end quality compared to like a lot of stuff on YouTube. So it's just I'm like, I wouldn't just put something up there, and then
I have a couple ideas I can probably pull off myself. Like I have all the
because I'm
behind
like it could be a short, could be like what it doesn't really matter. Just like adding something new, so YouTube's like, okay, she's there, she's breathing, the account's there.
Yeah, you
And
didn't disappear because that I think statistically most people will go, burn themselves out, and then they just stop. Then they'll take off months, and then it's really all that momentum is kind of gone because
we don't want to do that.
Exactly. Stop feeding.
We don't want to do that. I was also thinking about doing like a, about like a little about me. If I needed a content like, hey, I know a lot of you seen me the last 8 weeks. Let me introduce myself.
Exactly.
As just something to throw in there in the blank
Exactly,
space.
because it's like what there's a lot of things you could do like
it doesn't have to be the same content, just
no
something.
no, like no, it doesn't. Like, no, this is why we have these Saturday calls. It's just, it doesn't like my content on my Don't Get Hacked channel is so diverse because I'm like, I don't
Okay.
like it's just it's there as the authority channel. It's monetized and it's like, I got travel stuff on there. I do random lives saying, hey, because people are like, why RV life? And I'm like, do you want the short or the long version? Because I'm like, there's a lot of they're like, why don't you have an RV dedicated channel? I'm like, because I feel like I'd have to feed the beast on on repair and travel, and I'm like, I know I'm not going to be consistent. I know I'm not going to be consistent on our RV channel, and then the RV channels out there have such high production value. I'm like, it's a hobby. We're 2 years into it, and when people ask, I'm like, or they're all struck. They're like, I want to do that. I'm like, I'll give you the ins and outs, but I just met you and I don't know mentally if you're quite I got a lot of people saying they want to do like California to New York trips. I was like, that's quite ambitious for not having any experience at all with driving or being on the road, doing long road trips. So I was
Well,
like,
in fairness, we
give
could
me a call.
probably,
I'll give you some crib
yes.
notes, and I'll tell you why, like how it works. But I'm like, it's not, you know, it's not as glamorous as you think it is.
It's not the easy life. If you want an easy life, do not travel full time because you have the easy part of the life is when you show up somewhere and something's not broken, right? Like that, which is almost the oddity, right? Like it
I'm like,
puts
if you
you
if you
out of
have OCD with cleaning, this is
you can't do
not
it.
the life for
No,
you, unless you're single and you know that and you're not traveling with pets. Because I'm like, you take it,
no.
you hit a bump and there's stuff all over the place. If you're OCD with cleaning, you'd go crazy. So.
Like, and there's just things like we have gotten the one thing if you really want to push yourself out of your comfort zone and grow as a person and learn new skills, do it because it's going to make you have to. Because either you have time or you have money. And if you have a lot of money, you're going to be calling people for help all the time, or you're going to be learning how to do stuff. So it's really an interesting adventure doing it. But now we're at 10:01. So
Okay.
I guess if anybody has any other questions today, let us know. And I guess we'll just end it for here today. Is anybody
Yeah,
else?
yeah, yeah. Let's just see. Anything else in the chat? I think it was just Sarah dropped out. And
Yeah.
thanks, Mr. Ridenour. It was nice to see you. I didn't even ask you how you doing. So,
But yes, this is not the life for the easy people. My mom actually tells me all the time, she's like, don't you get tired? Like, don't you want to go back to your normal life in a house? And honesty, I really like this. I was talking to my friend, if you guys want a little story, about how impressed I've been with our ability to adapt and overcome some of the most difficult things that in my life I would never have thought I ever put myself into and saved myself from without having to call for help. And I'm still so impressed with how we escaped Joshua Tree when we got stuck in the sand. Like, I'm not even kidding. We should have recorded it, but it was traumatic.
we,
At
we
one
got after we got after photos and video of like how stuck we were,
But
but
if you would have seen at the top, the back of the truck was literally deep into the sand, the top of the truck, almost at 90 degrees that we're in there, and we got ourselves out rebuilding the ground. I felt like I was in the military, like building myself out of the sand pit. So I'm going to say, if you want to challenge yourself, this is the life. If you don't want to challenge, stay in your house. Don't move. Don't go in a mobile vehicle.
all right. Well,
Well, thanks everybody.
week 41's over. So again, if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group or send me a DM and I'll send you a link to the Facebook group. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place for week 42. And just, make content. And if you want one-on-one help, if you got my phone number, text me. If not, I'll send you the link to book on Calendly and we can have a chat on Zoom about what's stopping you from moving ahead with the YouTube channel. If I need a remote in and help you set up your YouTube channel, that offer's there. It's just step by step. Let's remove the
And
limiting beliefs and let's get your YouTube set up. Start uploading some stuff. I'll show you all. We can help you navigate the YouTube software on your desktop computer and get things going. But I'm not going to make content for you. So that's your time.
well,
That's
we
your
are
help.
coming. We are putting together our course. It's coming together. hopefully in the next few weeks we will be launching it, and that'll be more to help you if you need more specialized help specifically in your own area. So that is coming as well.
Yeah, and then the in-person boot camps are coming. And yeah, so we're just looking for locations, and probably just need a couple weeks if we're going to be near in your area. Just takes a couple weeks to plan an in-person boot camps, spend a couple Facebook ad dollars and get people. All the in-person boot camps are going to be paid classes. So we're figuring out those numbers depending on the city, depending on the room costs and all that stuff. So the in-person stuff's going to all be paid for, and we're working with each organizer to figure out what the expenses are and what we have. Obviously we have to make money on those and not lose money on those, but they're coming, and it's probably,
We might have to title it.
Mid-May to the rest of the end of 2026.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're
We're gonna have to call it YouTube Road Trip North America or something. We're gonna have to come up with a really good title, and then you can join us, and we'll have to start promoting all the cities we're gonna be in. We're gonna have to do that too. Make a big thing.
Right.
Come and join us in these cities.
I'm being asked for I'm already being asked for graphics. It is like, oh, it's more work. But
that's all that life is work. Come on, we're moving all the time. Something's gonna break, and you're gonna be under the trailer fixing it tomorrow on top of that. So it's all good. Thanks,
exactly. Well, thank
everybody.
you all for showing up today, and we'll talk to you next week, same time, same place. Have a great day.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Remember the time change.
Yeah.